I was wondering, since Jesus followed the majority calendar. Now, this is a reference to, well, maybe it's not, but certainly we believe this. One of Rob and my beliefs, and we've talked about this numerous times on the show, is that we see within the apostolic scriptures that Yeshua actually comes and he celebrates with the other people in Jerusalem. And it has been argued that the Pharisaic calendar was off, that it wasn't on in the first century. Now, there's a lot of reasons that we would believe this. They moved specific dates and they put in leap years and all sorts of stuff, depending on certain elements. So if the bridges were washed out and people couldn't get to Jerusalem, they would push back the festivals, the Passover festival. They would put in a leap year just so that they could rebuild the bridges. If there wasn't a good lambing season, all sorts of stuff. They would even fudge there's evidence that they fudged the setting of the new moon by a day or two as well. So the point is that people have argued, well, the Pharisees weren't on the right calendar. Or they were fudging things one way or the other. And our response has been, well, that may be true, but Christ nonetheless shows up at the temple during the festivals. And so it seems apparent that he was celebrating at the same time the others were. And therefore, he followed the majority calendar. And this, I believe, is a reference to that. If not to that, the person's on the same page as us. I was wondering, since Jesus followed the majority calendar, even if he knows what the actual dates should be, what is wrong with people following the majority day of the Sabbath? That is Sunday now. Following that then is Sunday worship, not sinning. I keep the Sabbath, the actual Sabbath, but this thought just came to my mind. Thank you. Okay, so I will respond to this first, and then I will let Rob jump in and take over. So my response to this would be simply that it is the Jewish people, it is the descendants of Jacob that were tasked with keeping the covenants and keeping the law. And they were tasked with this, and they are the ones who would set the majority calendar. So when we look at the Jewish people, they have not ever changed to a Sunday Sabbath. They have not ever decided. Now, there are caveats to this. We need to obviously talk about the fact that during extreme forms of persecution, the Jews actually did shift the Sabbath to Sundays. They would worship on Sundays so that they wouldn't be killed for worshiping on Saturdays. However, as soon as the persecution was lifted, what did they do? They went right back to a Saturday Sabbath. It is the Jewish people that we should look to for the majority calendar, and it is this reason that we would celebrate the Passover, Shavuot, Yom Kippur, Rosh Hashanah, and Sukkot on the dates that the majority of the Jewish people, whether they are believers or not, the majority of the Jewish people celebrate them on, because that's what Yeshua did. And so I'm going to follow what Christ did. I'm going to follow what Yeshua did. I'm going to follow them. The Catholic Church was never tasked with keeping the covenants for us. However, we also need to quickly say with that comment that for some reason, a reason that I don't know, a reason that I can't understand, God did use the Catholic Church to maintain the apostolic scriptures up to our day, up until at least until the Reformation, and we owe a great debt to the Catholic Church for maintaining the scriptures, the Wycliffes, the Tyndales, even the 1611 KJV, so on and so forth. So, and I don't understand why God did that. I don't understand why God used Luther either, but He did. Thank you so much for watching this video. Tell us your thoughts on this subject by leaving a comment in the comment section. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and enable those notifications. And we'll see you in the next video.